Okay, today's episode, the first real episode, or I guess technically the second, about the why Metal Gear Solid sucks. Today's episode.
How to fix Metal Gear Solid? No, I guess not. Not even how to fix Metal Gear Solid.
Here's how to fix Metal Gear Solid 1. If they could just release a patch for the PlayStation 1 version
to make it playable, and then maybe add some first person so that you can play it in first person.
Slightly playable. There's only so much they can do to make that piece of shit playable.
That's the thing is, I never owned a GameCube, but I have an emulator that has.
You mean the Dolphin emulator?
Yeah, I think that's it. But
for Twin Snakes. Well, here's the thing. Here's the starter point for the entire Solid series.
You don't have a GameCube?
I never owned a GameCube.
We borrowed it from a friend.
That was the best one.
No, it wasn't.
We borrowed it from a friend so that we could play Resident Evil 4.
Ikaruga was on that.
Yeah.
Oh, Shmups.
Resident Evil 4 and 0 and the train one was on that.
Shmups for schmucks.
But alright, here's our point though.
The D5 game with the girl in the laser corridors. Capcom actually released like 5 exclusives for that.
There's also
it was like the 5 or some shit. It was like it was an early platinum game or some shit like that.
There's also the
girl shaking her ass off.
The Cube was a good system.
Well, there's also the Crazy Insanity game. I forgot what it was called. Midnight Twilight.
Eternal Darkness.
Yeah, something like that.
Fatal Frame.
Yeah, Fatal, Eternal Darkness.
Whatever the fuck.
Which
I also never played.
Here's the point, though. Metal Gear Solid 1. We're starting with the Metal Gear Solid series, because as far as the Metal Gear games...
they were kind of... We played those as a rental.
Ancient train
we
wreck.
Played them, but yeah, they're kind of unplayable because
they were
of that.
based... The Metal Gear games...
And red pilled.
Yeah, the Metal Gear games were based on their obtuseness. It was based on trying to figure out, through over and over trial and error, how to finish the game. Either that or a Nintendo. Either that or a Nintendo Power. It was either trial and error or Nintendo Power, or both. Usually Nintendo Power would tell you.
How do I even find a sniper rifle?
Yeah. So Metal Gear Solid was the first game in the entire series that you could finish just by playing the game. You could play the game and figure it out on your own.
I remember, that was actually, I have fond memories of that, partially because it was the first console I ever purchased with my own money.
And that's our point. That is the opening point. That's the most important starting point, is that Metal Gear Solid, the first one, is a game that we remember positively, and we're not going to really have a lot of complaints about. I still say that the game's good. We're not going to
justify it. We're not going to
remember that opening song, "The Best Is Yet to Come," and then Trump called back to it just the other.
With Trump
MPS callback, man.
I can't believe President Donald J. Trump made a reference to Metal Gear Solid 1. Wasn't that the end credits song though? That was the ending song.
Yeah, I thought it was from the end.
But the beginning choral parts, that is the ending song. It's just when he's coming up through the water. Yeah.
Is it?
Okay. I did not recognize that.
All I remember is the best of is yet to come from the end credits of Metal Gear Solid is fucking gay as shit, which is scientifically
like
very
a
boring.
Song.
It sucks. It's boring. It's Japanese fucking elevator music, soft jazz.
Warbling. Who's strangling the cat?
Yeah. Oh, and we just got a new subscriber. Good job, subscriber.
Hey!
We got a new subscriber.
For a pre-recorded video that won't go up for another 2 months. Anyways, the fucking...
Well, the best is yet to come, clearly.
Yeah, clearly.
So, Snake comes up through the water, and he's like, he gets a radio call, and he's like, Snake, this is a very important sneaking mission. You gotta get past these guys.
I remember in 1998, that was actually fucking amazing. to have these long, in-depth
It was
conversations.
very well presented, too. Yeah, especially back then.
Well presented, and it really helps that it had legitimately good voice acting. If it wasn't for that, I would have been embarrassed. I would have gotten the
These days, at that point in the game, you'd still be downloading the patches.
Yeah, usually fucking... It's like, ooh, the patch. I would have gotten the douche chills if it was just your average, ordinary anime voice actor doing the lines.
Or like the Resident Evil games from that.
Yeah, exactly.
That door.
That was the par. That was the par for that era, was Resident Evil, and instead they spent like at least an extra $10 on David Hayter, and I don't know the name of the guy who voices the Colonel, but he's also one of the great actual fucking voice actors.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff too, especially now.
Yes.
And then also Raphael from the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Cam Clark is excellent in the entire game, although his voice is a little too distinctive, so it gives him away that he's the villain.
In fact, that was one of the things that confused me at first. It's like, okay, he's voicing two different characters. He's voicing Master Miller, and then he also voices the villain.
Yeah, I thought,
puts on the sunglasses and bam.
Yeah, I thought that was really lazy of them. That I was like, oh, they saved money by just getting Cam Clark to, the voice of Leonardo to voice Master Miller and Liquid Snake.
Is it Leonardo or is it Raphael? I'm pretty sure it was Raph.
I think it was fucking Leonardo, but
how did Cam Clark learn to do that voice?
How did he manage? How did he manage?
How did he manage to do this?
I got all the recessive genes.
Yeah, the
recessive genes, which it's an important scientific lesson. It's important.
Yeah, recessive genes for sure mean worse genes, don't they? Oh wait, no. The exact opposite. How does a super genius, a genetically engineered super soldier, super genius
build this outer heaven?
Yeah,
this paradise of warrior, endless war.
Who doesn't know
what?
that
You know what always
recessive
reminds me of when I hear the words
genes?
outer heaven. You know what I first think of is the Jeffrey Epstein Island and how he tried to make a second one right before he got arrested again. He had the plans drawn up to buy a second island. This is the outer heaven.
That's what you thought of when you first played the game in 1998?
No, when after that Epstein thing comes out, whenever I hear the words outer heaven, I just get linked to what he's trying to do with those islands.
Yeah, maybe that's what he was going for. You never know. You never know. That's what he's still trying to go for.
That was his goal all along.
Yeah, all along. Anyway.
But yeah, that's another example of how Metal Gear Solid sucks.
That's why Metal Gear Solid 1 sucks. And I knew it all along. Anyways, Metal Gear Solid 1...
it's really... The gameplay elements really kind of still hold up because they're so simple.
Yeah, they're stripped down to, it's like stealth in sort of in a two-dimensional. It's basically a two-dimensional game that's top-down, but also has like a lot of story. And I remember again in 1998. I almost vomited like 10 fucking
What's
times.
going on? What happened in 1998 here?
Something happened in 1998. The World Trade Center collapsed. Jeb.
Did that
something happen?
Did that really fucking keep you on your fucking toes as like the foamies came up my throat and like 1,000%? But anyways, in 1998, video games didn't have voice acting, or if they had voice acting, it was like little tiny sample digitized.
Yeah, I remember actually when Star Fox 64 was like, yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of voice acting. It's like, oh man, this is so amazing.
Yeah, it had over 20 voice lines actually digitized onto cartridge.
And they were terrible.
Yeah,
they were terrible sounding.
Yeah, and
just the sound quality.
Yeah, and
was
then
so low.
All of a sudden, Metal Gear Solid comes out, and we know that other games had voice acting and FMV. There were FMV games like D and fucking whatever the fuck, Phantasmagoria. Who gives a shit?
Shit. FMV games.
Metal Gear Solid had a level of attention to detail that was not in any other game ever.
It was an actual game.
Yeah.
I bought that. I also bought, what was it, Riven? I think it was the sequel to Myst. It's Riven.
No, you bought Myst. I remember you bought Myst, and I think we may have played Riven a little bit too.
Well, whatever. The point is, those were terrible games.
They were games. They weren't actually games. They were just find the place on the screen that it allows you to click on. That's not a game to me. That's just.
And when you get tired of that, you're fucked.
Yeah, when you get tired of that, the game is over. You might as well run the credits. Metal Gear Solid was an actual game, the same way that games were fucking presented.
A lot of games
NES
and
Super Nintendo era
were actually starting to turn into Resident Evil games, Resident Evil clones, where it's like tank controls for days, tons and tons of loading screens. You're just sitting around looking at things.
You're playing on a picture, basically. The Resident Evil games were, here is a picture, you will move your character around this empty picture that doesn't actually really represent the screen you're playing on. It's just we emptily fucking designated what places you can and can't go to.
It was a weird era. It was a very weird era for video games, especially console video games, because they were so limited by the technology, but they were capable of making things in 3D for the first time.
Massively in between area between the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2. And that's one advantage I have to give to the N64, which I still considered a massive ripoff because of the peripherals that had no function and were just designed to drain your fucking wallet. But at least, at the very fucking least, they didn't just put a picture on the screen and say, move around on this picture. That's the level. And Metal Gear Solid had all the areas as fully 3D, even if they were low poly, even if they were low texture.
They were low poly, low res.
At the very least, they were still actual areas that you could fucking interact with. You could press yourself against any wall, knock on the wall, and a guard would be like, what was that noise? And come up to you to where you knocked on the wall.
The walls would actually block their vision.
Yes, exactly. And that's another reason why the first Metal Gear Solid game still fully holds up. Now, granted, there are reasons why the first Metal Gear Solid game is fucking stupid. Maybe we'll actually get into them.
None reasons.
Beat's perfect.
0 reason. 10 out of 10.
B plus. Perfect.
Perfect scored.
Get the spooge scoop.
11 out of 10.
Get the spooge off my monitor.
Yes.
Fucking Otacon spraying his pants with cum.
Of course, our friend here.
He's a coomer.
I need my diabetes medicine for all this eye candy.
Yeah, Otacon was a coomer the whole time. Of course, Crate here, our special guest here, Crate, recognizes the original references making fun of fucking games journalism from the year 2000 or 1999. Hey, remember games journalism from 1999?
I give it a 5 in the hype score. Yeah, or get a 5 in the excitement score.
The hype score.
5 on the tingles.
The
5 across the board.
Reviewers tilt. Yeah, reviewers tilt. Yeah, remember the reviewers tilt?
That's the 6 for me for Metal Gear Solid. It was a 6.
A solid 6. I think I have a solid 6.
Yeah, I got a solid 6 in my pants. Yeah, again, we're like the only people who remember that era of games reviewers and journalism.
For some reason, yeah, that's the thing is people, especially with
when I booted up Metal Gear Solid, it's just the inside of my head was just the guy with his head exploding and his eyeballs popping out.
The Nintendo Power, Nintendo Power advertisement where his head is just blasting backwards in a rainbow spray of colors, but actually it's just like yellow, orange, and red.
Incredible!
Oh man! This video game is so amazing.
Mark Ruffalo, what? But Mark Ruffalo. But anyways, the
remember the one where the kid's up in his room at night and he's turning it up really loud so he doesn't hear his dad beating his mom.
Well, wasn't that was Black or White by Michael Jackson at the beginning with fucking
Dad, this is the best part.
But
you
Dad,
are worthless and
you're
weak.
worthless and weak. Yeah, that was fucking Macaulay Culkin getting screamed at by his dad, George Wendt, who suddenly turns into Niedermeyer. I can't believe that. Why does that happen? That doesn't make any sense.
Michael Jackson. I'm just gonna say one thing. That guy had a black doctor.
He did. You know what? And that's for sure a good thing. By black, do you mean Indian?
No, I mean he specifically, I guess, for some reason, did not want to have a white or Jewish doctor, which you think he'd want to do.
Well,
if he had all the money in the world.
Jewish doctor,
keeping it in the community, I guess.
A white doctor could be like a reverse Saul Goodman, which is Saul Goodman was
gotta pretend to be down with the tribe.
Yeah, he's down with the tribe. He was an Irishman who was down with the tribe. The reverse would, of course, be a tribe man who is down with the Irish, I guess. But
down with the Goyim.
Yeah, clearly Michael Jackson would not be down with that. And it's like, you know what? Okay.
I had an internship doing 3D art for like an entertainment company way back in the day when I was in junior high.
Here we go.
And yeah. I didn't understand the down with the tribe stuff back then, and they were just trying to get me to watch like this gay porn. I just didn't get what was going on.
Yeah, wasn't that
you just always be watching gay porn? Like, you want my input? It's like, hey, how about this load? Isn't that great?
You told me that story of you walked in a room with a couple of guys who were down with the tribe.
True story. Totally, absolutely
I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, you walked into a room with two guys.
Look at this degeneracy. They actually called it degeneracy. What the fuck?
Yeah, they're a couple guys who were down with the tribe just looking at gay porn who were like, hey, check this out. Do you enjoy looking at this as we do?
Do you want to help us spread this across the society? Across American civilization?
The beautiful Aryan society.
that and the Talking Heads.
Oh, the Talking Heads, a great band.
They always is like, can you please change the music? And they're like, nope.
Oh,
it's got to be the Talking Heads all the time.
Well, now I don't like the Talking Heads.
Anyway, Zod.
Wait, isn't that? Yeah, wait. The Talking Heads isn't that the fucking big suit guy, David Byrne?
Yeah, David Byrne.
Oh, that's what kind of name is that? Is that Anglo?
It's extremely Anglo. First of all, Anglo. Second of all, yes.
And I remember
boring as shit.
And I remember also like the
80s bland milk toast.
I have to admit, fucking Stop Making Sense live album. Not really like way too experimental.
People treat that like it's the most genius thing they've ever heard of.
I would rather listen to Sting at his most pretentious. Well, not his most pretentious. No, not the Loot era, but I mean the Police at their most not Sting. The Police at their most pretentious, which means Sting.
Well, even then though, this fucking pretty pretentious. There's also I remember the liner notes. I think for one of the. I think for Stop Making Sense, it's just like all these little snippets of these wise quotes, and one of them is like, "American money is the most ugly money in the world." It's like, is it?
Yeah, and I think Boston.
It doesn't look that way to me. And Boston. Also, everyone else's money is a gaudy neon-colored mess.
Neon toilet paper, but also Boston, like their liner notes were like, would just say "me does murder" on the entire page. For the entire page for like their biggest hit, fucking Boston,
Don't Look Back or whatever.
Yeah, Don't Look Back. The liner notes instead of the lyrics would just say "me does murder," and it's like okay, thanks, Boston.
Pictures of cows.
Yeah, pictures of cows being slaughtered, and it would say "me does murder" over it. It's like, okay, thanks.
It's a fold-out. It's like a three-piece fold-out.
Fucking the main guitarist killed himself by cooking a hibachi in an enclosed area, and the lead singer killed himself by putting blanks into a gun and putting it up to his head and saying, "Hey guys, they're just blanks," and pulling the trigger like 5 times and blowing his brains across the fucking walls because he was so fucking stupid.
Was that Boston or was that Chicago?
Oh, yeah, wait. That was Chicago.
You're confusing the two cities.
Two shitty, retarded faggot bands.
They're two horrible cities. No, Chicago's not that bad. Boston's not that bad either. The real life cities are terrible.
Terrible. Anyways, so that's why Metal Gear Solid sucks.
That's why Metal Gear Solid 1 is a good game and sucks. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe.
And make
what is a Russian gunship doing here?
Yeah, make sure to unsubscribe too, and
Did we ever find out why a Russian gunship was there?
No, we didn't.
Oh, because Octagon.
Drop that ball.
Yeah, and
I think
also
they picked in one of the remakes, the remasters.
Don't forget
Shalashaska.
Don't forget though our forced catchphrase, Hideo Kojima is the David Cage of